Hi everyone and welcome to another review. So today we are looking at a beautifully made colouring book called Magical Season. It's by Lenka Filonenko, who has a plethora of colouring books available already, and this is her most recent. It is a book full of illustrations for the autumn or fall season. So there will be autumn images, there will be Thanksgiving type of images, and also Christmas as well. So it's all through the end of the year and that fabulous season. So first of all, the book itself is made really nicely, as Lenka's books always are. It has a beautifully soft velvet cover. It is spiral bound, so easier to colour on, and it has some gold foiling to the different elements on the page. The title, that's just the title I think. And on the back you can see a couple of images from inside. There are 23 images according to this, and they are printed twice, once as a line art and once as a grayscale. So you can have a go at whichever one you feel most comfortable with, maybe experiment with the one that you're not sure about. And the great thing about this is that they are actually side by side in the book. So if you're wanting to colour the line art version, you can take inspiration from the shaded version right next to it as to where to put your highlights and shadows. So a bit easier for me to just show you than explain. So I've got this beautiful card that came with it, this unicorn design, and it's also signed as well. All of them will be signed if you buy a physical copy. So it says here, Magical Season, Fall, Halloween, Thanksgiving and Christmas. So all of the best different occasions really into one book. So we've got a book belongs to page with a Christmas design and a cute little cat curled up. The card used here is 250 GSM, so it's really thick. Let's do the ping test. You hear that? And it's bright white as well, so all of your colours are going to really pop off the page. So here's what I was talking about, an example. We've got the same illustration, but on the left hand side it is pure line art with no shading, and on the right it is quite heavily shaded. So like I said, you could do a standard line art colouring and take your inspiration from the shading on here, so knowing where to put shadows on the pumpkins, for example. Or you can go straight in if you prefer grayscale art. Sometimes having the shading behind it can really make your colours pop out because it already has that deepness, that depth. So really it's totally up to you, but it's nice to have them side by side so that you can take reference from that image. But as for the illustration itself, you can see it is a beautifully framed autumn scene. There's pumpkins, I'm not really sure what these are, but I know we've got some acorns here. You know what my botany is like, I haven't got a clue about flowers. And you know, going off to the church in the background there. So really sweet little contained image. And most of these are quite contained, if not in a border as such. They will be sort of central on the page, and yeah, I do like contained images. So again, you can see side by side. We've got a lady and a fox here surrounded by a leafy border. And then a bit of a spooky one, so we're into Halloween already. And even though it is November now that I'm doing this review, Halloween is year round for people like me. So I will colour these images anytime. So what have we got here then? We've got a woodland scene. We've got quite a bit going on actually in this one. I did just say that most of the images were contained, but this is one that takes up the full page. So we have in the foreground a little hedgehog with a candle. We've got a couple of little foxes hiding in the tree. I think this looks a bit like a ghost in the tree. We've got a bat hanging up here, and then in the background we've got what looks like, well, it's a bridge with a river and a scary figure carrying a torch there. So yeah, this one will be really cool. Obviously as a nighttime scene, you've got your light sources from the candles and the torch, and yeah, it'll be really good when that one's done. So again, we've got the lady and the fox. This seems to be a theme so far, with the acorns, the chestnuts and the leaves as well. Beautiful hair to colour. So you can have a go at colouring fur on this one. Here's the one that I've coloured. I decided to go for the line art version, but I did take inspiration from the shading over here. So we've got a witch flying in the sky, and we've got a cat stood on top of some pumpkins. So again, contained image. And for this one, I used quite a lot of Neocolor 2 crayons, Caran d'Ache Neocolor. So I did that for the sky bit in the background. You can see how it's gone from white to blue to midnight, and I just thought that worked really, really well. And with all the clouds in the way, I was just I didn't really want to use pencils because I just thought that's going to be colouring around different things, and I wanted this perfectly circular glow, so I thought Neocolours would work best to fill in that gap. And yeah, it was really, really fun and enjoyable to do. So we've got the witch and her black cat, or whatever colour cat you want to make it. We've got a bat and yeah, just a frame of branches and spider webs. So I think we're moving past Halloween now into the Thanksgiving season. So Thanksgiving is an American holiday and we don't celebrate that over here in the UK, but I think Thanksgiving is very much like what a UK traditional Christmas would be like. So you have a turkey, you have all the trimmings, the vegetables and the big desserts and things like that. That's what we do on Christmas over here. So we've got a cute little bunny, very Peter Rabbit-esque. She's carrying a pie that it looks like she's just baked, and we've got some corn on the cob in the background, and again, no idea what this is. It's something I recognise, but I don't know what it's called. And yeah, just a very autumnal image. Okay, so we're getting more into Christmas. We've got the cat on top of the cuckoo clock, very playful, and it even looks like the cuckoo is squawking at the cat. I think he's trying to maybe get hold of that bird. And yeah, so we've got some Christmas poinsettia and little bits of fur, I think they are. Yeah, cute image. This one is a snowy scene. So we've got a couple of, we've got a child and the dog playing on the sled. Then we've got another child down here with, I think, a Christmas cookie. And it's just a really wholesome, heartwarming, snowy scene. And you can just see the difference, obviously, between the shaded and the line art version. This one really, it gives you a preview of how the image is going to come to life when it has those different dimensions in it. So I really appreciate having that here. Even that if it was just a book of the line art, it would be fantastic. But I don't know, just being able to see a little bit further down the line, it really elevates the image. So it makes you excited about colouring the line art. So again, another Christmas one. We've got some of those fir branches surrounding some candles here, and we've got a reindeer. So in between all of the reindeer's antlers, we've got some Christmas lights, fairy lights hanging down. This one again will be a good one to practice little glows, maybe of different colours on your Christmas lights. So this one is an angel holding onto a dog, really, really sweet. And I think we've got some holly, I think these are holly, in the border as well. This looks like a couple of bears, so it's almost like a fairy tale type thing, like a Goldilocks thing. A couple of bears snuggled up with their scarves and their warm hats and just having a cup of cocoa or hot chocolate at the table. And you can see in the background we have a Christmas cookie looking mandala type illustration that almost makes it look a little bit snow globy. Another angel here with some candles in the background, and again the poinsettia. We've got some Christmas ornaments and some berries as well. This is a squirrel collecting up all of his little treasures. So he's got a pine cone, and we've got some cinnamon sticks and dried orange slices here as well. I think, what are these? These are like star anise. Just like really Christmassy, fragrant things that you would get around that time of year. So we've got some robins now. Robins in the little bird feeder. And, oh, this is so sweet. Look what's hanging from the bird feeder. We've got little stockings for the robins, and they are filled with lots of seed and other treats for them. The fox is back. He's sat next to the Christmas tree, obviously waiting to open his presents. So you've got a Christmas tree to colour with all of the ornaments and decorations. And then a few little floating bits make up the frame of this image, like gingerbread men and candy canes. This is a little girl holding her cat, and she's sat in what looks like a Christmas wreath. So that makes a really nice frame actually for that. And we've got baubles and things like that decorating the wreath. Quite on the surface it seems like a simple image, but there is quite a lot of detail there. So we've got Santa and his sleigh and a couple of reindeer as well, with some snowy trees in the background, and this is a night scene, so it obviously is Christmas Eve. He's on the way. I don't know where his presents are. Can't see any place on the sleigh for the presents, but again, he is magic, isn't he? So they must be somewhere. And then a couple of birds. I don't know if these are meant to be robins or just Christmassy birds in a wreath of berries and ornaments. This little girl is going on a snowy walk. She has her lantern with her, and again the frame is made of Christmas decorations, but I quite like how the bauble actually has a scene within it, so that's really quite nice, like a little area. And then we've got a mouse. So it looks like this is Christmas morning, looking very, very happy. The only thing that is missing that I've just noticed between the images is that this mouth has got teeth and this one hasn't. So maybe that was just forgotten, I don't know. But yeah, I thought it was quite funny. And yeah, we've got stockings, we've got presents. This could be a good opportunity to maybe design your own wrapping paper with a fine liner, or I don't know, it's up to you really. And then I think this might be the final image, yeah. So we've got the girl again, beautiful portrait and gorgeous flowing hair to colour with lots of those Christmas elements embedded in there as well. So finally, you have been given a testing page to test all of your colouring media, your pencils, your pens, your paints. I think this would be a fantastic colouring book to use some golden or, you know, any colour of metallic paints. Got some here actually by KJ, designed by Karen. You know, beautiful metallic paints like that would go perfectly in this book. And I do have something extremely special coming up, which I can't really tell you about at the moment, but I'll be revealing within the next few days, which incorporates those paints and a Christmas auction. So yeah, if you want to get hold of this book, oops, just tip those over. If you want to get hold of this book, you can do it in two different ways. It's on Etsy, Lenka's Etsy, which I will leave a link for in the description. And you can either get the physical copy or you can get the digital copy. Now, there isn't much between them price-wise. It's a couple of pounds. So I would recommend, if you can get in there now while there are some of these physical copies available, get yourself a printed copy because the quality is beautiful. It's got all the elements we love to see, the spiral bounding, the really, really thick card. The card itself, by the way, has a smooth texture, so I don't know if it would take millions of layers of pencil, but as you can see, I've coloured with pencil here and it looks pretty good. So yeah, smooth. I would recommend probably markers, but then again, you know, it's up to you, because I don't know if you'd want to use alcohol on it, you know, for the background. It would bleed through. Anyway, you can use pencils if you want, is what I am trying to say. So I'll leave links in the description for both the physical and the digital copies. I think that's all I can say about the book. Let me know if you have any questions or comments, and I will see you soon on Colour with Claire.